Here we have the Vane track and the Vane control system. Next is the main sheet. Again, here is the Vane track. The centerboard case and the front foil control. The Capsize recovery system, which helps making it much easier to right the boat. Here we have the Sailsand Foils. Foils come in a lovely bag. We have the rudder blade, the main foil, rudder foil and rudder blade, and some end caps for displacement sailing. These are the two quick assembly wings. Next is the rudder stock, the mast, carbon mast and a carbon boom. And lastly the wand and the control rope for it. First part of rigging is to put the mast up. I have used shackles here to attach the chain plates, just to make the rigging a little bit quicker. I have found that with the shackle I used, I had to put the pin in position 4.5 to keep the rake at about the same. The Skeeta uses a triangular shaped spreader system attached to the front of the mast. The stay goes through an end cap on the spreader, which locks the stay in place. To help tune the rig, all the spreader bars are adjustable. You simply take the pin out, move it up or down until you find a hole, the next hole, and then reinsert the pin back in. The spreader is attached to the front of the mast just by a simple pin that locks in place. The best way to rig the mast is to attach one of the side stays and just loosely attach the forestay. Lift the mast into place and it will just lean back against the two attached points. Then you can go around to the other side and attach the other stay. The rig has a moderate tension. As you can see here, it's fairly tight, but it's not overly tight. I have just a standard bicycle drink container that I've pop riveted to the mast, and this works really well. My first step in rigging the wings is to hook the Capsize recovery rope underneath the clip in the wheels. As you can see, I have a couple of balls on the Capsize recovery system, and this stops the rope sliding underneath the wing and getting stuck there, which is a problem I found early on. Attaching the wings is a pretty straightforward thing. Just insert the front tube in. Then you're ready to insert the back tube onto its locating pin. I like to put the elastic for the toe strap over the top because it just lifts the toe strap up a little bit. Slip it onto the pin, back, slip it over the pin on the side of the boat, and then just attach the locking pin, and there you go, wings attached. Once you've attached both wings, don't forget to detach the capsize recovery system from underneath the clips on your dolly wheels. When rigging the mainsail, I like to attach the boom to the main before I hoist the sail. There are two loops on the bottom of the sail along the foot. You can slide the boom through the bottom loop and then attach the out haul. Slide the front of the boom through the front loop, just ensuring that the loop stays in front of the little knob on the end of the boom. To attach the halyard to the top of the mainsail, you create a loop in the halyard, insert that through the eyelet, and pull the loop up and over the little ball at the end of the halyard, and just pull it tight, and it locks in beautifully. Now pull the mainsail up the mast. Once the mainsail is fully up, engage the knot in the little V-cleat that sits on the front of the mast. Once the mainsail has been securely hoisted, clip the boom onto the mast and adjust the outhaul. Next step is to clip the mainsail on, and just ensure that the opening on the clip is facing towards the front of the boat, and you clip the mainsail on the rear loop. Before you try and attach the vane, just put some tension into the main sheet and lock that off. Ensure the clip opening is facing towards the front of the boat, then just slide it through the loop and clip together. Ensure the vane goes through this block and through the cleat. With the vane pulling straight down, it also pulls the luff down at the same time, therefore there's no need for a Cunningham in this rig, which makes it really simple to work and minimises the number of controls that the skipper has to think about. Tidy up the halyard by running it through the guides in the front of the mast. and then tie it off around the cleat at the front of the mast, and then you can loop it up and put it in the pocket on the side of the sail. The wind vane I use is made by Alan. Just simply loops around the mast with a piece of shock cord. Now I will show you how to thread the wand control cord. Firstly, it goes through this little red guide on the shock cord, out to the little block on the end of the wing, then through a saddle in the middle of the boat, now through the block on the other wing, then back through the little red guide on the shock cord, and out to the front of the boat. One end of the wand control cord is permanently fixed to the scoop. The loose end goes through this fitting on the back of the wand, and it goes in a channel to the top of the wand, and then through a hole in the top, and this lead end can be adjusted to give you the amount of tension you require for the wand to operate correctly. The wand is then attached to the bow fitting by a clip lock pin. This end of the wand is attached to your centerboard. The shock cord here applies tension to the wand control system, which enables the scoop to stay in the water. This pin goes through the centerboard, which locks it in place, and this next locking pin goes through the wand control and onto the foil control on the centerboard and locks that in place. On my boat, we're testing a system that holds the hiking straps off the deck. It goes around or through the hiking strap and then up through the top of the halter that holds the main sheet blocks. The other solution is to also rig the shock cord for the rear of the hiking strap over the top of the rear tube for the wing. The rudder stock is held in place by a pin which has a split ring at the bottom. The rudder is held by this pin when it is fully down. There is also a brake to hold the rudder when it is not fully down, such as when leaving or coming back to the beach. This cord attaches to the top of the rudder, which helps you pull it down. The rudder also has a self-centering system, which is a piece of shock cord that goes up and over the tiller and through a little clip at the bottom which locks it in place, and it's adjustable so you can get the right tension on it. Insert the rudder into the stock from the top, slide it down and through to get past the bottom of the boat, lock it in place, and then you're ready to put the foil on. The foil has a spring-loaded button on the side which clips into a hole on the bottom of the rudder blade. The centerboard has the same system to attach the foil.